Huh? What you gonna do with that snake? Scare mama?
Yeah.
Who'd you say you was gonna go scare?
Lucy.
What's Lacey doing?
Listen.
Lizzie probably in the bed, ain't she?
Show the camera the snake.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. Coming to you from out here in the pea patch. Do a little garden update for you today. Y'all, it's hotter than a crack pipe in the alley in Chicago. I'm telling you, doggone it done got hot. I've been hanging around an air conditioner and a fan like a flight of sticky tape out here. I'm telling you, it's tough, y'all. Heat index been around 120 something, and I think it's been running about 101, 102. It's dry, we ain't had no rain. Now they prophesied some rain, the weatherman did for today, but y'all, I ain't see a cloud in the sky. I don't know I don't know. We may have to get together and all do one of them rain dances or something, but they say we're gonna get a little bit of rain this week. But I was gonna show you the peas. Man, y'all, we are loaded up with peas. These is a top pick Purple Hull variety, but they not really turning purple yet, y'all. But now I'm fixing to pick this afternoon. We're gonna do our first picking, and y'all, I have got 1, 2, 3.5 rows that is loaded. Let me turn you around, let you look. Y'all, look at them peas now. This first 4 rows, this is all top pick. And back over yonder on those about 5 or 6 rows over there, that is a zipper cream. It's a big fat pea. They not quite ready yet, but I don't want them all ready at the same time, y'all. I got more than I can handle here. And I'll probably do myself one picking off of these, and then I'll have more than I know what to do with, more than likely, unless I just can't get somebody to pick them, I'll pick them again. But then I'm gonna start calling, family and friends in to pick them and get what they want out of them. That was the purpose for this whole deal this year. But y'all, we loaded with peas now. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about why these peas are so loaded. When I started to plant, if you remember back, I talked about that I was wanting to plant with the moon at the very before really the 1st of May. It was like right before the 1st of May, 28 or so, that the moon was gonna be right in April. But I waited because it was still a little soggy, it was still a little cool, things were just not right. My ground wouldn't dry out like I wanted. So I waited till after the 1st of May and put them in. And y'all, I don't know of anybody that is picking this amount of peas. If you wait and plant at the right time, they'll load up. Second thing that I've done here, this is seed that I have saved and planted in this ground for about the last 3 to 4 years. And I save new seed every year. I don't plant the same seed I planted last year. I discard them usually, feed them to chickens, do something with them. And I keep some till I know I've got new seed now. Make sure you've got seed, because if something happens and you lose this crop, you still got some backup. But once I know I've got new seed out of this crop, then I discard the other seed. And what they've done is they've acclimated to this hot, dry weather that we have midsummer. Because it gets dry every year. Now, last year we was bad wet up into the first half of the year, and I like to have lost most of everything. But y'all, I hadn't had a lot of weed problem this year in here. Now, further over back to that corner over there, I got nutgrass problems. So we're going to try to come up with a way to defeat the nutgrass this year. I don't really know what I'm going to do it, but anyway, let's go look at some of the stuff, see how it's doing. Now, I did want to show you these teepees I built. I have 1 willow leaf butter bean. Well, actually 2 plants come up. Y'all, it's so dry on top of this. This stuff right here did not do well at all. The potatoes did not make very well, y'all, right here beside them. Those we dug the potatoes, y'all, we didn't get as many potatoes this year off of 4 rows as we got last year. So there's a couple of willow leaf, and I come in and replanted some rattlesnake pole beans, but y'all, it hadn't rained enough for them to sprout. Look at this corn right here. Y'all, it's just dry. It's not gonna do nothing. I have planted beans in here that was gonna run up. I was gonna do 3 sisters right here. The squash all died, everything, y'all. You can't grow anything. And you see how that ground is cracking? Y'all, that's how dry it is. And that right there stuff, it's like rocks, y'all. So So that's how the Three Sisters deal went for me this year. I mean, you can't whoop Mother Nature, so. And I'm not gonna try to go against God. I mean, he's in control. I just gotta do my part and see what happens. So look at these tomatoes, y'all. Y'all, my tomatoes are doing well. Now this is a big beef that's got ripe tomatoes. These are the 3 that I told you were my cheater plants that I went and bought early, because mine that I started from seed died the first crop of them and I had to replant. But y'all, my cages, I stuck them and tied string, and the string's holding the ones up between them. But y'all are doing good. A little bit of nut grass and stuff in there, even in this one. Now that is a broccoli plant. The bugs is eating it up. In fact, I have done pulled one out over here. But they're doing good, and I am having to cut off like right here where you see some yellow. I'm getting that off, but now I have not really had a lot of pest problems. I did put the marigolds in here. Now I don't know what all they repel. I know they're supposed to help with bug problems. Y'all, I've not had any worms or aphids, anything yet. Now I'm not gonna say that they don't get in here later. I'm keeping an eye on it. But my biggest battle so far has been some blight, you see right here. And I am picking it off, but a lot of it's due to dry weather, I think. I am watering with a sprinkler, setting this inside there. Peppers, y'all. Look at the dang peppers. I have staked my peppers, y'all, because when it does rain, look at the size of them jalapenos. And I have come in and throwed in some fertilizer, some 688. But y'all, this stuff right here, see that pepper? That's because that sun's beaming on that and it's dry. I did water all these beds yesterday, but y'all, these beds, I'm literally having to water them once a day at least. Really, they need twice a day because they're drying out so fast, because what water goes into these beds drains down into the ground. You don't have to water as often when it's at ground level because it's pulling moisture that's at a certain level. But this being raised, the water dries away really fast, so you have to water this more frequently than you do what's in the garden. But we've got some little cherry tomatoes, y'all. I wanted to show you these. I'm excited. I don't even know the name anymore. I'll have to look back. I've got the package saved. But this is a purple cherry tomato. See, here's one down here. See how that one's turning? But I've got the marigolds in there. I think that's helping with my bug problems. Okay, so let's talk about my corn right here behind me. You see this top 4 rows is my peaches and cream. I really wanted it to do well. Didn't do. Part of it was because I couldn't plow it when it needed plowing. My tractor just bit the dirt, and I could have probably worked on it and fixed it, but the day that it wouldn't crank, I looked and there was some baby birds in a nest down there about the radiator. And y'all, I just didn't. I let it go. But this corn would still come up and do something if it was getting rain, but it's not. Now we've got corn down the hill down there that we spread chicken fertilizer over from a commercial chicken farm, and y'all, it is green and doing extremely well. But you see the amount of grass in this, so next year this is not gonna get planted. We're gonna do some kind of herbicide program here this fall after this corn's done and we've got what we can get out of it. And we're gonna do something to eradicate this grass. Now this is a little bit too large to probably put animals or something on to build fences. And if I had some fencing, I would probably go that route. But for me to go buy fencing, it's cheaper for me to take an herbicide route. But now this down here is shoe peg and trucker's white corn. I got it planted early enough that it is doing well, really. So I'm happy with it. And I want to go show you some other corn over here and tell you about it. Now that is the no-till. You can see how it looks. It was planted same corn, same day as that right there. So we're not going to go into that, but I won't be doing no-till through corn. It needs that ground broke up, at least here anyway. All right, right here. Okay, this side right here, I come in and hand planted a dibbler, this golden bantam corn. Y'all, this is the 4th year that I have planted this corn, and it has never done really well. This is the first year that I have come in here and picked off some corn. That's not it. It's actually this row. It's this row right here. That over there is my peaches and cream on that row I was just showing. This right here is the golden bantam. You see these ears are nice, big, tall, straight ears. They're drying up. They didn't get as big as I want, but y'all, that is due to it being so dry. But I have got some big, pretty ears of corn on this for the first time. So what happened? I ordered this from Seed Savers Exchange. I've planted it, I've saved seed out of it. I've planted it, I've saved seed. This year I have finally got big, every year, these stalks would be straggly and crooked, and the corn would have kernels here, there, and yonder. It just never did well. Well, this year it's doing pretty good, and what it's done is it's acclimated to my climate, to my soil, to this area. So it took it at least 3 years for that to happen. And this year, y'all, there's a good bit of corn. Had we had adequate rain, or I could have watered this. Let me pick one off right here. I want to show you. All right. And I can't hardly see nothing on the camera, but this, you see how I've got, y'all, there's some big, pretty corn on there. Now, it's not fully developed. Something's eating on part of it. But y'all, that's due mostly to the rain. But that is the prettiest this corn has done so far. Right here, I've got 2 rows of butter beans. These are a bush, like a thermogreen. I ordered from Seed Savers Exchange a couple years ago, and it's like only the second time I've actually planted them. And they're doing well this year, and I've had to till between them to keep the grass down. These are my grandfather's old butter beans over here down this row. They're doing well, really green, pretty, all that. But now look right here. This is my rattlesnake pole beans down this row. You look behind me, see these? They turning yellow. Y'all, they're producing beans, but it's so dry. Usually these things are dark, pretty, and green, and this is seed I have saved, but these are not doing so well. But now we have been picking on them. Them started producing early, and they produced already. We have got several pickings off of them. My cucumbers, this is the nationals right here. Y'all, we've been making pickles. I showed in a clip, table covered with pickles in there. I have give boxes of pickles away. And I know somebody's gonna wanna see this pumpkin. I'll show it under there. This is my favorite cucumber here. This is the Orient Express. This is these long, skinny cucumbers. As far as eating, that's what I'd rather have. See these big, long, skinny. Those are the ones that I like. And they're loaded down, y'all. That's about 6 or 8 plants here, and they doing well. Y'all, my onions, I have not believed the success that I have had this late in the year with onions, y'all. This is my first time really growing onions. Now you can see we've cut the tops on some. I'm somewhat experimenting. Okay, I don't know if you can see the pumpkin is hanging there. There it is. Y'all, it's so bright out here I can't see the screen. I'm so cool with these shades on. That's the volunteer pumpkin. So anyway, you can see most everything out here, y'all, is doing very well. Now my walkway that is strawed cardboard under it, y'all, the nutgrass taking it. I'm struggling to like this no-till, putting straw down and pull the weeds by hand, because you walk right here, y'all, and look how pretty I can keep this with a tiller, and it aerates around my plants. I'm old school from way back, y'all, and I'm probably just naturally gonna favor, because you can see right here on either side of this, I can take a low tiller and run through and clean these walkways up too easy. It will dry out your soil, but I just, I did straw around my tomatoes. And this is those same, look at here. Let me turn around and show you these little tomatoes. Y'all see them? That is a little cherry tomato. And they're on this trellis right here. But look at this walkway. I come right up through here with a tiller and clean that up. I've got straw over here, and y'all, these tomatoes are growing like crazy. I'll have tomatoes probably till frost because I planted them in stages, and obviously I have another row over there. But they're doing very well. Okay, these are regular crookneck squash, these 4 right here. Then these are Miss Jimmy Honeycutt's striped squash. I have picked several. Some of them are doing okay, some of them not doing so well. I don't know what the deal is. Like this one here is doing really well. These over here are trying to dry up and die on me. In fact, that one's about kicked the bucket, but I did pick one that was laying there by that water hose. And then all of this is crookneck squash. Some of them doing well. You can see these squash in there. I have picked some little runts off that are like this. I've got to take up there and throw to the chickens. All of them are making squash. I've had somebody comment that theirs were not producing. So I don't really know why you would have a plant that is not producing at all. This is the yellow zucchinis. Y'all, they have done extremely well. I could not be happier with a plant. This is the first year I have grown them. So, butternut squash right here. Y'all, they've held up in this heat, done well so far. You see there's a good size one there. And then that's my regular zucchinis right there. So y'all, in spite of the dry weather, the heat, everything's doing fairly well. And my blackberries, I went to pick them. Me and Brody, bless his heart, y'all, he got eat up with red bugs. I mean, they got all in his underwear and just eat him up. Look at my grapes right here, y'all. We're gonna have some grapes if they get spotted. I need to get water down to them. Now my little blueberry bushes that I transplanted up here to my property, those big ones I showed in other videos on my dad's, there's some he had. 2 of these is doing all right, but that middle one I think y'all is gonna kick the bucket. I've toted water out here, but I've not toted enough, I ain't gonna lie. So, fig bush. We've had a few plums on this plum tree right here. But now this fig bush, it's right here on the end of my chicken coop. Y'all, it is loaded to the gill. I planted this thing as a cutting about 4 years ago. And the second year, I got a handful of figs off of it. I planted it in the spring. The following spring, I got figs like a handful. Then last year would have been the second year, and I got a good many all I could eat. And this year, y'all, I'll have more than I know what to do with on this one bush. And we've got several more bushes around. I have transplanted several little ones. And this right here tree was planted about the same time. It's a plum, and it's doing well. But I want to show you and talk about my wicking tub and my other bucket container. Okay, this one right here has got a jalapeno pepper down in it. Got a couple of marigolds in it, and it is a big beef tomato. This one over here, same deal, big beef tomato. This one is in a wicking tub. You see the pipe coming up out of it? So I'm gonna tell you the story. You see it drying up? This thing dries up faster than this one over here. 7 gallons of water that it holds. I can fill it up and it'll empty that in a day's time. In a day's time in this heat, that thing is dried completely up and I have to fill that pipe up. This one, I've cut most of the foliage off of it to help fight blight, but also you see it still trying to blight. And I just keep picking the yellow off, y'all, to fight that blight for the most part. I have sprayed a little of that mancozeb on it. But y'all, I have got all those tomatoes you've seen on my counter came off of this plant and one out yonder and these 3 plants. They've loaded with tomatoes. But y'all, the wicking tub, in my opinion at this point, has not really outperformed just a bucket of dirt. But here's the kicker. I've been having to water both of them twice a day. Otherwise, it'll die. So anyway, that's a little update on what things is doing. My little squash that come up with a wheelbarrow, y'all, it's about to die. I've been fighting to keep it alive because there ain't very much dirt. So I've been really, y'all ain't no telling what my water bill is going to be. But anyway, thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. We'll see y'all next time. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all.